The moment Klein steps through the gates of Welch's estate, the world seems to lean sideways. It's subtle, too subtle for anyone but a man who has died once already. The garden is quiet, the air fragrant, the grass soft beneath his feet. Yet every instinct inside him screams. Something unseen is watching. Not one pair of eyes, not 10, hundreds, thousands, an invisible audience crowding the edges of reality. He blurts out the truth before he can swallow it. Something's wrong. Dunn doesn't even flinch. Just ignore them, he says in that calm, unshakable tone of his. But that calm is what terrifies Klein most. If Dunn says ignore them, then what exactly is hiding there? What kind of world has he walked into? Later, Klein will understand that those faint shapes, those soundless observers, were spirits. Countless lost souls drifting like cold stars over the estate. But right now, overwhelmed by a pressure he can't explain, he follows Dunn through the front door, and the moment it closes behind them, the light changes. A cobalt blue flame flickers on a tall candle stand, staining the room in ghostly hues. Every shadow bends, every breath feels borrowed. And then she appears. Daly, Spirit Medium of the Nighthawks. She doesn't just look like someone who speaks to the dead, she dresses like she wants the dead to recognize her. Black robe, silver bracelet, crystal pendant that catches the blue light just so. Dark eyes outlined in blue. She looks like she stepped out of a whisper, a warning wrapped in a smile. Her verdict hits like ice water. The original spirits have all disappeared, Welch's and Naya's included. Gone. Not lingering. Not whispering. Erased. That is the first crack in the night, because death should leave echoes, traces, something. The absence is a threat by itself. And then she turns to Klein. The air tightens, pressing down on him as if the house itself is holding its breath. She points at the chair. He sits. His heart is a drum in his ears. This is it. The moment everything hinges on. The moment that decides whether he walks out a free man, a suspect, or something far worse. He has no weapon. No plan. Nothing but the strange clarity inside him. A clarity he barely understands. As Daly steps closer, the flame trembles. The shadows pulse. She speaks softly, almost teasingly. I will give you some fragrances, making you feel tender and smooth. It sounds harmless, but the sensation is anything but. Scents rise, floral, warm, drifting, and Klein feels his thoughts beginning to dissolve around the edges. Colors blur, shapes melt into watercolor. Sound stretches thin like threads in a storm. The world becomes distant, impressionistic, as if he's sinking into a dream he didn't choose. Her voice becomes the only anchor, hypnotic and slow. The mental worlds of humans are extremely vast, the ocean, the sky, the islands. She maps his mind like a landscape. She describes it with unnerving confidence, the surface wiped clean, the depths holding secrets even he can't reach. To her, he is an ocean. To him, she is a diver looking for the drowned. And Klein? He plays along. He feigns confusion, grief, emptiness. No, I can't remember. I have forgotten. But deep inside, he remains awake. That mysterious clarity, his second life, keeps him steady. He walks the line between truth and illusion like a man balancing on the thinnest blade. At last, the trance dissolves. Colors snap back into place. Gravity returns. Klein breathes. Daly smiles, almost impressed. This tricky fellow did not leave a single trace behind. Her verdict is a release, a reprieve, a warning. And Klein hides his relief badly. But the world is already shifting again. Daly reports that Welch and Naya's spirits aren't just silent. They are gone. Not scattered, not tormented, not present, completely erased. Not a single trace was left behind. And that is more horrifying than any haunting could have been, because something that leaves nothing behind, something that wipes out souls completely, is something beyond their understanding. Klein stands there in the cobalt haze, realizing the truth. He survived something he cannot explain. The room fades back into normal colors as Daly extinguishes the candle. But the dread? The dread lingers like a cold hand on the back of his neck. Dunn's voice breaks the silence. Congratulations. You can return home now. Just like that. No ceremony, no final check, no reassurance, just a dismissal. Klein blinks, stunned. After everything, after spirits, erasure, examinations, they're letting him go? It feels unreal, suspicious, almost cruel. But then comes the warning. Not loud, not dramatic, quiet, heavy. Do not tell anyone, not your friends, not your family, not even in a whisper. Klein tries to ask how likely he is to end up like Welch or Naya. Dunn thinks, and his answer is worse than silence. 80%? Roughly, more or less. 80%. 4 out of 5. For someone with Klein's luck, that's almost a death sentence. Dunn sees the fear rising in him, and what he offers next is not comfort. It's an option. Two options, actually. Join them as civilian staff or become a Beyonder. Klein nearly chokes. Become a Beyonder? Just like that? He imagines power, freedom, knowledge, but Dunn crushes the fantasy before it can form. Becoming a Beyonder is not a gift. It is a burden, a knife that can turn in your own hand. A quarter of the cases we handle every year are Beyonders who lost control. Klein freezes. And among that quarter, a large number of them are our teammates. This single truth shatters the halo around the Nighthawks. They're not mysterious heroes. They're soldiers walking a road made of razors. Every step a risk, every breath a gamble. Power is not safety. Power is temptation. Power is the slow drift toward madness. The carriage ride back is silent at first. The city glides by in dim, sleepy silhouettes. Gas lamps flicker in the fog, and every time the wheel turns, Klein feels the weight of the night pressing deeper into his bones. Finally, Dunn speaks again. His tone is calm, too calm for the truth he is about to reveal. Faith and fear bring troubles. More faith and more fear bring more troubles, until everything is destroyed. Klein doesn't understand it fully, but he feels the depth of it. This is not advice. It is doctrine, one shaped by centuries of deaths and disasters. The church hides its secrets because revealing them causes more harm than good. Curiosity becomes obsession. Fear becomes madness. Knowledge becomes fuel. Klein tries to lighten the tension by quoting history. The only lesson humans learn from history is that they learn nothing from history. Dunn actually smiles. That famous quote from Emperor Roselle is indeed filled with much philosophical meaning. But the smile fades as quickly as it came. Because Klein is still at a crossroads, Dunn explains why he qualifies to join them. The reasons are simple, stark, unavoidable. 1, he survived. Fate, luck, or something else. Survival is enough. 2, he is a historian, and the Nighthawks, for all their power, cannot decode the ancient, maddening knowledge they encounter daily. Dry, boring knowledge puts us to sleep, Dunn admits. Even the sleepless can't help it. 3, he is already involved. No matter what he chooses, he can't return to ignorance. He has seen too much. Klein feels the walls closing in. Joining them means losing freedom, being bound by contracts, by silence, by danger. But not joining might be even worse. He asks the practical question, the most human reaction in an inhuman situation. What is the salary? Dunn answers without hesitation. £3 a week, no weekends, rotating shifts, 5-year contract, lifelong confidentiality. It sounds mundane, almost absurdly normal, but every word is another chain. The carriage stops in front of Klein's apartment. Dawn is approaching, soft and pale. The street is empty, too empty. Klein steps down, and the cool air hits him like a slap. His back is drenched in cold sweat. He hadn't noticed it until now, how tense he had been, how close to breaking. Dunn's final instruction is cryptic. If he decides, he must go to the Hound Pub, order a bottle, and give the owner a specific message. Only then will the Nighthawks reach out. Their headquarters, hidden even from him, will remain secret. Then Dunn disappears into the thinning night, leaving Klein standing alone under the fading moonlight. For the first time all night, the silence isn't filled with spirits or whispers or invisible eyes. It's peaceful, honest. But the peace feels fragile, too fragile for the truth he carries now. Klein breathes deeply. The air is cold, sharp, real. He survived the night, but survival is not the same as safety. He walks toward his building, each step heavier than the last. Dunn's offer echoes in his mind, mixing with the phantom scents of Daly's fragrances and the cobalt shadows that still cling to his memory. He came into this night as an ordinary man. He is leaving it as something else, someone marked by secrets, hunted by possibilities, and standing on the edge of a path that leads into the unknown. The real danger, the real choice, begins now. And in the quiet morning air, Klein finally understands the truth Dunn never said aloud. Once you see the world behind the world, you can never unsee it, and it will never let you go.